Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Uber Eats versus DoorDash. Now, I have been doing Uber Eats for about 3 years now, so I have a little more experience with Uber Eats than with DoorDash. I've been doing DoorDash about a week now. And I do like DoorDash just as well as I like Uber Eats. But at the end of this video, I'll tell you which one is more better. Okay, so with both apps, they offer, the customers do pay tips, and you do get tips from these apps. Okay, but the one thing I noticed is that with DoorDash, they give you a tip up front. So whatever your pay is, so say if it's $15, your tip is inside that $15 with DoorDash. Now with Uber Eats, you'll get the pay, which is $15, but you'll get your tip later on. So you'll notice in a few hours that you'll get the tip, or maybe even at the end of the day you'll get a tip. Okay, so that's what I noticed. Another thing that I noticed between the two apps are that Uber Eats offer stack orders. So for instance, if I have an order at Burger King, right after I leave Burger King, I may get a hit for Popeyes. And you know, and I'm like, okay, should I take it or shouldn't I take it? And most of the time I do take it because it's pretty profitable. But with DoorDash, I noticed that you have to pick up the order, drop off the order, and then after you drop off the order, then a few minutes later you'll get a hit for another restaurant. So that's when I noticed the difference between those two. Let's see, another thing that I noticed is that DoorDash does keep you busy. You do get a lot of offers with DoorDash than you do with Uber Eats. So I know I was working a few days ago with DoorDash, and I was getting like hits upon hits upon hits for different restaurants. But another thing is, I sat in an area where there was a bunch of restaurants. So I went to the mall, and the mall has nothing but restaurants there. So that's where I stayed. That's why I tell you, hotspots, they had me go to a hotspot, I left the hotspot. So you have to go where there's action at, and I went to the mall. That's where all the restaurants were, and that's where I was getting paid. Now, I had both of my apps on, and because I'm using both apps, because I'm going from one app to the next app. So whichever app is paying more, that's the app I'm going to go with. And I noticed that Uber did not keep me as busy as DoorDash does. DoorDash, it was jumping the other day. So that's what I noticed. Also, if you're talking about when is the best time to do these apps, okay, so the best time to do these apps are on a weekend. You're going to get way higher pay on a weekend than you are on a weekday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are going to be your highest pay rates. Monday to Thursday is going to be like not that high. Okay, so most of the time I try to go out those days because it's worth my time. I don't want to go out Monday to Friday and then I'm using all my gas and I'm not getting anything but pennies, you know. So Thursday, Friday, even Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are pretty good. Thursday, not so much, but you may get lucky with a Thursday. Okay, also holidays are great because you're going to get a lot of money on a holiday because it's the holiday and people don't want to cook. They're celebrating, so you know, people are going to be calling in for orders. Holidays are great also. And the third thing is your next highest pay is during the night. Now, I don't work at night because it's a little dangerous, and if I do work at night, I have my husband come with me for safety, you know, because I'm a female. But the nighttime, they do pay pretty well. You're going to get a lot of hits because no one wants to cook. They're coming home from work and they're tired. So you're going to get a lot of hits for the nighttime. And also higher pay. Okay, so one thing that I noticed is that, one thing I'm going to say about both apps is this. You have to be really careful if you're going to work with either apps at nighttime, because like at night times, I'm working at night, and you can't sometimes find some of these addresses at night. There's no lights, it's so dark. You're working in buildings and areas where there's no lights, and you're trying to find an address and you can't find it. So most of the time I wind up canceling the order at nighttime because I can't find it, you know. And then another time I went to an order at night, and the address was not there. Like, I mean, what I mean the address wasn't there was on the app, it said like route something, but it wasn't a real address. So I was driving to it, and I'm in this area, and I'm sitting, I'm saying, well, where do I go? You know, and then a person saw me, and they called, or I think they texted me or called me or whatever, and they said, oh, I'm coming to the car. Do not do those type of orders. Thank God I had my husband here, but again, do not do those type of, if you're a female or male, wherever, someone can set you up. Do not do those type of orders. Be really mindful of what you're doing when you're doing these DoorDash and Uber Eats and, you know, all these delivery services, because you can set yourself up to get hurt. So, like, again, be smart. Be aware of your surroundings when you're coming out of the car. Don't be on your cell phone, looking at your cell phone, walking to the store. Keep your head up. When you get to the store, look at your cell phone. You know, that's a tip to anybody that's watching this video that's just either doing delivery services or planning on doing the delivery service. Be aware of your surroundings, because so much is happening in the world, as you all know, and you want to be safe. You want to make your money. You want to come home to your family. Well, anyway, guys, that's my comparison. If I had to choose between DoorDash and Uber Eats, I'm going to say they both basically pay equal. Maybe one may pay a little bit more money depending on the time of the day, the time of the week, and if it's a holiday. So that's all I'm going to say about this. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you on my next video. Until next time, be safe and make your money. Bye-bye.